Isang mula na mo chumena matagni ko ni rawon ni bibo na tagi ke misa po. Niya na isang mula na sir ko ni sana no churi kilo na mo chumay. Tu na sile. Isang mula oyo Mr. Ben. Ela ba? Na magkikiraw na bibo mataka mo ni chikira mo rumbu kamay na ono kinaliwa na Bula FM.
Tonight, more contradictions from SODELPA leader Rote Mumukepa. PDP wants its candidates reinstated, and shooting video has no connections to Fiji. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. SODELPA leader Rote Mumukepa has backtracked on her earlier comment that there should be wide consultations on two controversial issues leading up to the election. Speaking on CFL's radio show Straight Talk with Vijay Narayan last night, Rote Mumu was emphatic about her version of equal citizenry and common identity, saying the name Fijian only belongs to the indigenous people and there is no need for a referendum on the subject. However, on FBC's For the Record show on Sunday, she clearly stated that this issue needs widespread consultations. Chanel Sivan reports on the contradiction.
Rote Mumu's stand on common identity for all Fiji citizens seems to be changing on a daily basis. On Sunday, it was all about consultations.
Yes or no, would you agree to all Fiji citizens? If there were consultations, yes or no, would you agree to all Fiji citizens being called Fijian?
If there were proper consultations,
simple
no, I
yes
cannot
no.
answer very simply like you want me to do. And it has to go through the proper Fijian forum.
Last night, a huge political flip-flop.
Your stand remains that Fijian is only for the indigenous Fijian.
I think right now that's a non-negotiable, Vijay.
Non-negotiable for SODELPA right now.
Rote Mumu also says that the term Fijian should only be used to distinguish the Itoke community from other ethnic groups. SODELPA says as indigenous people, the Itoke should have special privileges because they were the first to arrive in Fiji and that no one can be equal to them, adding that's why the name Fijian should be reserved for the indigenous.
Why is SODELPA is so concerned about the name Fijian, defending it, when it is actually given by a white man? Why don't they use an indigenous term for it instead of a term given by a white man?
Your comments, Rote Mumu?
Because that term has served us very well. That's why we, why change something when there's nothing wrong with it? So that's why we go along with this name, and we find that it's an appropriate term.
This stand by SODELPA has been condemned by all political parties, including expected post-election partners, the Fiji Labour Party. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Meanwhile, the Social Democratic Liberal Party will bring back the controversial Ngolingoli bill if elected into government. SODELPA leader Rote Mumukepa says the bill was not marketed properly in 2006, which led to misinterpretation by many. Ritika Pratap reports.
Speaking on FBC TV's For the Record program, Rote Mumukepa said the rightful owners of Ngolingoli or fishing grounds are the indigenous people. She says Ngolingoli was not given back to the Itoke after independence.
What was given back was the land, but not the Ngolingoli. The Ngolingoli was given to government. And that's where the problem has been, the ownership. We know that the chiefs and the people own the Ngolingoli as they do for the land. Because it was not returned to their rightful owners, which is what the Ngolingoli bill in its eventual form will become.
But despite saying the Ngolingoli will be given to the Itoke, Rote Mumu contradicts herself on this issue as well, saying the bill will first have to be consulted upon.
The difficulty that it had in the past in 2006 was that it was not properly marketed to say that we are just trying to return the ownership. It's nothing else. We're just trying to return the ownership in terms of who really owns the Ngolingoli. And the people who own the Ngolingoli know that it makes great returns for the government.
The Sodalpa leader claims fear tactics were used in 2006 to inform the public about the bill, with tourism operators being told their businesses would suffer.
I don't see that happening, because I know that the people who live by the sea, who are the owners also of the Ngolingoli, they know that the sea is there, you know, for people to use. They see the tourists coming in and enjoying it like they do the surfing at Tabarua, which is making millions of dollars. But in this regard, Edwin, in terms of ownership, we just have to be fair.
Fiji Hotel and Tourism Association President Dixon Sito says this is a political issue raised by politicians, and they will only comment if the bill ever sees the light of day. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
The Methodist Church of Fiji says it hasn't taken a stand leading up to the general elections. However, the church has defended a former president who this week called upon the Methodist Church Conference delegates to put God first instead of putting the political party Fiji first. The church general secretary says the former president was only making a statement of faith by asking the flock to put God first. Ellen Stahls has more.
General Secretary Reverend Tevita Nawandra has come out in defense of controversial former President Thomasi Kanailangi's sermon this week.
Statement of faith. It was a statement of faith that he was giving out, that in the belief of Christians, God should be first.
And Reverend James Bagwan stressed that the comments by Reverend Kanailangi does not reflect the policies of the Methodist Church. Reverend Bagwan says Reverend Kanailangi was giving theological guidance in his sermon by saying that God should be paramount in the lives of the congregation. The former church president, who is currently facing charges for attending a church meeting illegally, also said in his sermon that Fiji should be a Christian state.
They preached, and it came out in their preaching that that was supposed to be what they think Fiji should be. The position of the church has not been decided yet.
Reverend Bagwan says the only time the church makes references to politics is when encouraging the congregation to exercise its voting rights.
We are encouraging our members to go out and vote. All we're asking is that they reflect carefully based on what our vision of the community is, or our vision for Fiji is, which is a society where people live together in harmony, where people practice the principles which we understand as Christian principles, where there is righteousness, where there is justice, where there is peace.
The Bainimarama government had banned the Methodist Church's annual conference for the last 6 years because some of the senior members were using the forum to push their political agendas. Reverend Nawandra hopes there won't be another ban.
We are hopeful that the constitution, as we have now, that banning will not happen, because we are all trying to build a Fiji that is free from those things. From someone just coming and saying ban the church, because we are going for democracy now, where everybody has the right to express their own faith.
Whether Kanailangi's statement is political or not is yet to be decided. However, with the government's zero tolerance on having the church being used for political statements, there are many in the church tonight hoping that history does not repeat itself. Ellen Stahls, FBC News.
The People's Democratic Party continues to hope that its 4 rejected candidate nominations will be reinstated following appeals to the Electoral Commission. Daniel Urai, Shamal Singh and Lekima Taukola were rejected by the Supervisor of Elections for criminal convictions, which PDP says are not in breach of the electoral decree since none of them were imprisoned. Hiroshi Taniguchi's nomination was rejected because he's been in Fiji less than 6 months over the last 2 years and didn't have a passport. The PDP claims he was in Fiji the required time and has a passport. Meanwhile, as they wait for the outcome, the PDP has filed 6 objections of its own against Fiji First candidates.
Parveen Kumar, I believe also known as Parveen Bala, and we also have an objection against Inia Batikoto Seriratu, also against Bridge Lal, Pio Tikondondua, and Lysenia Mbale Tuitumbo. in the Constitution 56 and 57 state the eligibility of candidates, and we are objecting on the basis under the Constitution and the electoral decree that at the time that they signed their nominations, it's not just at the close of nominations at 12 noon on 18th August, at the time they signed their nominations, they were still public officers.
The Electoral Commission will make its decision by the end of the week. The national candidates list draw will now take place on Sunday at the Grand Pacific Hotel in Suva. The draw is when the candidates are assigned their numbers, and this will be held from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. FBC News sought a comment from the Elections Office as to why the draw was deferred. It's understood there are several pending appeals by political parties against the rejection of their nominees before the Commission. The People's Democratic Party, Fiji Labour Party and Social Democratic Liberal Party all have lodged appeals with the Commission. Coming up, more troubles for Fiji's casino developer.
छू 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 हे हे नमस्ते फीजी, आपके हर एक प्रॉब्लम की दवा लेकर मैं आ गई हूँ 9 से 12 बजे तक आपकी सहेली रेनू। छू 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 40 में 20 का दिखना है। मैं हूँ ना आपके साथ में मिर्ची एफएम पर 9 से 12 बजे तक मंडे टू फ्राइडे। मिर्ची इट्स हॉट।
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Foreign Affairs Minister Ratuinoke Kumbombola will meet with his New Zealand counterpart Murray McCully and Nandi on Friday. This will be the first New Zealand-Fiji foreign ministers consultation since 2006. The two ministers are expected to discuss a wide range of bilateral, regional and multilateral issues of importance to their countries. An update on Fiji's election progress and the multinational observer group are expected to be a central part of the consultation. The Fiji police says although a preliminary inquiry suggests no Fijians are involved in an alleged shooting reportedly carried out in Fiji waters, it will seek assistance from Interpol. Tundravu says the incident did not occur in Fijian waters as claimed in the 10-minute video uploaded on YouTube.
I can confirm that initial finding seems to indicate that the incident took place outside of the Fiji water. No Fijian or Itoke was involved. There is a prelim investigation that is currently undergoing at this moment in time. Those are the only comments that I can confirm now.
He adds they are trying to find out the motive for posting the video online. The scene of Fiji's first casino development remains idle and locked, and those who did the only work on the site are demanding payment. Last March there was some landscaping work done, but that stopped and nothing has been done since. In March, 100 Sands Limited announced the project was moving forward. However, the work only continued for about a month. AATS General Civil and Logging Contractors hasn't done anything since because of non-payment issues with 100 Sands. The site is locked down and this construction base abandoned. The casino developers haven't responded to inquiries about the continuous delays in construction of what was hoped to be Fiji's first casino. The casino was originally scheduled to open in October last year. As a result, they are paying a fine of US $100,000 for every month until the project is completed. Sports now, and here's Jamie with some very good news from the Youth Olympics.
Good evening, that's right, good news indeed as Fiji wins its first Youth Olympic medal through Sevens rugby. Also after the break, Netball Fiji's national championships ready to take centre court. Stay with us for more.
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर आपका स्वागत है बच्चों की दुनिया में। हमेशा की तरह आज भी हम आपके लिए कहानियाँ और कविताएं लेकर आए हैं और बच्चों आप हमें कॉल भी कर सकते हैं। नमस्कार, मैं हूँ पल्लवी। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर मंडे टू फ्राइडे 3 से लेकर 4 बजे तक बच्चों की दुनिया में और 4 से लेकर 7 बजे तक मस्तानी शाम के सफर में शामिल रहिए मेरे साथ।
Welcome back to FBC Sports. The Fiji Under-18 7 side has won bronze medal at the Youth Olympics currently underway in China. The Fijian youngsters beat Kenya 12-0 in the playoff match this afternoon. Fiji led 7-0 at the break after a try through Ali Pate Ngariningio converted by Waise Ndaroko. while Felipe Ngoro added another 5-pointer in the second half. Meanwhile, last night the side was beaten 34-12 by France in the semi-final. The only other team sport representing Fiji at the Youth Olympics is the girls' hockey side. With big losses earlier to Argentina and Netherlands, last night the side, despite going down in its third game, showed an improved performance with a closer score margin to South Africa 8-2. Its next game is this evening against Japan at 10 p.m. Meanwhile, Fijian swimmer Meli Malani finished first in his 50 meters butterfly heat. He clocked a time of 26.02 seconds, but that was still not enough for him to qualify for the semi-finals. Netball Fiji is all geared up for its national championships, which get underway in Lautoka on Friday. The tournament received a further boost today as Digicel Fiji and Punjas have come on board to support the biggest sporting competition for women in the country. Josephine Navula has the details.
With one more day to go, 34 teams have confirmed their participation for what is expected to be a tough battle at the Digicel and Punjas national championships.
We've got Suva, we've got Mangondro, we've got Navosa. There are two Naita Siri association. One's Naita Siri Highlanders and the other one is Naita Siri Northern Bulls. We've got Taviuni, Tailevu, Nandi, Lautoka and Nandrunga.
Bongindrao says 34 teams have confirmed for the two-day tournament.
The A grade, we've got 8 associations that will be competing. This is our elite competition. And then we have the B grade, potential national reps. There are 13 teams. And of course our youth team, there are also 13 teams in the youth. That's under 21.
Meanwhile, the Fiji Netball Association received a joint sponsorship of $20,000 from Digicel and Punjas for the tournament today.
This is a joint sponsorship between Punjas and Digicel, the first joint sponsorship that we've actually done together, and we're very happy to be supporting the largest female participation sport in Fiji.
And netball offers us a great opportunity to give something back to our customers, and we believe this is going to be a great opportunity for us.
Coach Kate Carpenter will also be at the tournament to scout for new players for the national side and also the development team. The championship starts on Friday. Josephine Navula, FBC Sports.
The Suva Under-14 side is yet to concede a point at the Rewa Galaxy Kachi Rugby Tournament in Nasese. The capital city side continued its dominant form, defeating Ngau 35-0, Wainimbuka 42-0 and Tailevu 17-0. The side looks on track to defend the title in the senior grade of the Kachi Rugby Tournament. Ovalau and Nasinu look to be the only competitors to challenge Suva for the Under-14 title. In the Under-13 grade, Nasinu and Madhuwata were also in impressive form, recording comfortable victories to make it to the next round. The quarterfinals will kick off tomorrow. With one major title already in the bag, the Nandi football side has now set its sights on the Ink Mobile Battle of the Giants crown. The Jet Setters haven't won the tournament since 1996 and is out to end this drought. Indra Singh finds out how the Green Machine plans to do this.
The Green Machine has adopted a strict policy in its bid to score the 2014 BOG title.
Our policy is from the start that you train, you get the game, and as you know that we are getting more young boys in our team, and at the moment we have got a lot of young boys in our team.
Pulled in the tougher group of the two at the tournament is by no means an easy task, hence the Jet Setters have been putting in a little bit extra at training than before.
I think so, counting to all the teams, I think so all the teams are good, and looking at Bar, Lautoka, Suva, Rewa, Lambasa, all are very good teams, and we are not taking it any game lightly. And every game is our final, and we'll treat every game as our final.
Gounder has already tasted wins in major tournaments last year and at the FEC this season, and he remains confident his group of players are ready for the latest challenge.
Yes, definitely. Our first focus is the fair bar game, and hopefully that it comes in our favor, and we want to play the semi-finals, and every team comes and wants to play semi-final and final, and that's our aim too.
Nandi has long been one of the powerhouses on the local front. However, the question remains if they will end the 18-year drought, and only the games will tell. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, neighbours Lautoka have not won the tournament since 1985 and has also been in the doldrums lately with their performance in the league not up to par. But the side is not letting their league showing disrupt their tournament preparations and have set a target to make the semi-finals of the tournament.
We are a very young team, and we have got Lautoka boys playing for Lautoka, and we are in a building stage for this BOG, and we'll try and do our best. So no pool is easy. We'll try and make semi-final, and that's our aim for this BOG.
The tournament gets underway in Bar on Friday. That's it from Sports Tonight. It's back to Jackie now with business.
The Managing Director and CEO of Fiji Airways, Stefan Pikler, is the new chair of Tourism Fiji. His appointment will be for a term of 3 years. Tourism Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum says Pikler brings in a lot of experience as he has held senior positions in the tourism industries of Germany and Australia. Said Qayyum says with his strong commercial background, Pikler will take Tourism Fiji to greater heights. Pikler says he intends to begin work immediately. That time weather with Trish.
Thanks, Jackie. Now looking at today's conditions, if you were in Suva or Sabu Sabu, you had cloud and rain this morning that gave way to a pretty nice afternoon. Nani Lautoka Mba had fair conditions all day, and also Lambasa. Temperatures: Suva 26, Nani 28, Sabu Sabu 27, and Lambasa 31. Tonight, if you're heading out to Hibiscus, be prepared for a cool evening as most places will drop to around 18 degrees. Thursday's forecast is for weather much like today. Sabu Sabu and Suva can expect cloudy skies and occasional showers. Nandi, Lautoka and Lambasa may be a bit of scattered cloud. For mariners, easterly winds 15 to 20 knots and moderate seas. Our picture of the day, everyone knows this landmark, of course. It's the Singatoka Bridge taken by our very own Sam Songoyawa.
Thanks so much for that, Trish. Recapping our top stories tonight, more contradictions from SEDELPA leader Rote Mumukepa. PDP has appealed for 4 of its candidates to be reinstated by the Elections Office, and police have confirmed that a shooting video loaded on YouTube has no connections to Fiji. Now time for the Fijian Speak segment.
They are fighting for each other. They just they bring fear to the society and the committee, because every party bring up their idea of leading the government and everything.
I'm not really sure about it. I think there are some, that we always listen to them on TV, right? We sing them on TV now, that on radio. I think it's what. Just talking about land, I think it's a land.
Some political parties, in their own way, saying that they might unsure about our our jobs and also the land issues. So I think it's sort of creating fear in our society and also in the youth today.
Meanwhile, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. To receive the latest headlines on your mobile phone, take subspace FBC to 777. That's News Tonight. Good evening.
Sarwanduru na kaloko na Radio Fiji 1 ndo mibiki na buongani binyano. Nisambula binaka na ngono boro taki ni rongo sere na ngono nindreko malolo. Nisambula binaka. Oye wa meli kilangi. Ningina magati umena nongo bengi rawi maina moni tiki na warombuka na ruwa kina wana kaloko na ngono ni rongo mani vya sana. Waki na wono na ngono ni rongo sere na Radio Fiji 1 na ndo mibiki na buongani binyano yano.